into so the disk level, file system level, the data residing into the main memory level. That's the, it's a high performance analytical appliance here. Okay, that is the main concept here. So now coming to the what we discussed till now, we discussed about the, so the day one we discussed about the introduction, what is HANA and why it is very useful, and what is the, so it's a commercial software and the platform editions, the types of editions, how to download the softwares, HANA hardware requirements, HANA software requirements. So these things, two things we discussed in the last class. Up to last class we discussed. To recap to the previous activities, we discussed what is HANA, sizing, hardware requirements, software requirement, OS platforms, HANA versions. These things we discussed. So but to log into the HANA, can only operating system side, HANA we can only install on the Linux, SUSE Linux system only, SUSE Linux only. We can either SUSE or maybe Linux flavor we can install on Linux only. Why? Because Linux will support the touch of TB. So they are the almost 32 terabytes. It will support the Linux operating systems. That's why HANA can only be installed on the Linux operating systems only. That is the one of the important thing. The next one of the important thing here. So the next one here. So next one, the Linux operating systems. So then normally here few members are not aware of what is the Linux operating systems and everything, right? In that case, so you can see we need to log into the Linux. Means everybody, you will get the access to the Windows server here. This Windows server, this RDP server. Once you log into the RDP server with this IP, your user ID and password, I will create it. Then you will see the PuTTY icon. To log into the Linux operating system, you need a PuTTY. PuTTY is required here, right? You will open the PuTTY. You need to enter the host name or IP address of the Linux here. So Windows, you can use the MSTSC, will log into the RDP server. But Linux operating systems, you need to use the this host name. Then our Linux system is the KPS4 HANA. This is the our Linux operating system. Just to log into this Linux operating system, just enter the host name. I will share the details. Then click on the open button. You will see the, so you will see the login as, then you can enter the user ID. Then you can enter the password here. User ID and password. So just see properly, you need to type the passwords here. Why? Because the password will not be visible in this case. Password will not be visible. Just you need to enter the passwords here. So if you wrongly type it here, it will display that so password is so wrong, something like that. It will create the passwords here. What is the password? 1, 2. I forgot the password first of all. Okay. So just let me increase the change settings here, appearance, change background. Okay, so this way you can log into the Linux system here. You need to properly enter the user ID of the Linux and password. You have to enter it here. Then you will open the black screen here. So as you know, Linux is the black screen. It's not like that Windows. You need to mouse using the mouse. You can operate the all the screens and everything here. It's kind of a black box. It's kind of a black box which you have to operate like a. It's not like that Windows. It's a Linux. So you need to using the commands only. We have to do the operate here. Using the commands, we have to do the operate. We have to operate it here, right? So in this way, you logged into the system here. So now, so we discussed about the requirements, how much memory we required to check the memory. So now we will discuss about the few Linux commands which will be helpful for the, so our basis perspective, our real-time perspective, few are the Linux commands which will be helpful for us to check it out here. Suppose if we want to check the memory, we can use the free -g is the, it will give you the, so how much memory is total, how much memory is used one, how much memory is the free. This will give you the information here, right? Suppose if you want to check in the G means gigabytes, GBs level. If you check the MBs wise, yeah, free -m. If you want to use the bytes, free -b. So like that, it will be displayed in the bytes wise, megabytes wise. It will be display the status here, right? So suppose I want to check the space total file systems. If Windows, if you use the this PC, then entire C drive, D drive, how much free and everything will be displayed here. But if you check in the Linux level, df command, D means display, F means file systems, display file systems will be displayed. See here, here everything will be displayed. Why this, like this it will be displayed here, everything is 100% full, right? Like this it will display. Suppose I want to display in the proper wise, order wise, then if you use it here, the proper wise will be displayed here, the proper wise will be displayed here, right? So this way we can see it here, right? So then suppose you want to, this is the file system, df-h free -g. There are the documents, I will share with you the Linux documents, so you can just practice the Linux commands. So here df-h display file systems, and so then so free means free space, memory related things here, it will be displayed, how much memory, how much used, how much free, so that available, how much, so that will be displayed here. Okay, the swap size also will be displayed. So df-h means, so what is the /HANA file systems, how much is the free, how much is the used one, how much is the availability, what is the percentage, all the information it will be displayed here, right? So that will be displayed here. And also you can see /var, /usr, /temp, /root, /obt, /home. So these all are the Linux related file systems here, right? Linux related file system. So Linux operating system, we have to operate through Linux commands only. Through Linux commands we have to operate it here. Linux commands we have to operate it here, /HANA, like this, right? If you go to the, so suppose if you want to go to the another folder, normally Windows level, what we will do, we will go to the C drive, double click, then you will go double click, you will go multiple folders here, right? Suppose at the same time Linux level, cd command change directory. Suppose you want to go to the /media, then you can go to the change directory /media, then it will be open to the respective thing here, respective folder will be opened here, respective folder will be opened like this here, right? Cd space media, then you will go to the respective folder ls-ltr, which means listing the folders and files in that sub account. Cd means change directory. Suppose in this directory, in this /media, how many folders and how many files are there, you want to list it out, then you can use the cd ls space ls. If you use it, normally it will display the, without any order wise, it will display the all the files and everything. If you use the ls space -ltr, then it will display the, so -ltr means it will display the when it was created, what is the size of the each file, all the information will be displayed, all the information will be displayed here, like this here. If we go to the cd/root, under the root, how many files? Root means the main file system here. Here root is the main file systems here. Suppose if you want to delete the unwanted file systems, rm-rf. Rf means recursive force. Suppose like if you want to delete the some folders here, unwanted file folders only, then you can use this folders concept here, you can delete it here. Suppose like I want to delete the some unknown file systems here, you can delete the unknown file systems folders rm-rf, then this is the folder, this is the folder, this is the folder, this is the folder, then multiple folders if you want to create it, you can delete it here, like this you can delete it here. Okay, multiple folders if you want to create, delete it, you can -rm. So RF, without using the RF, if you want to delete the directory, it won't delete it here. So right. So RM minus RF, then the folder name or directory name, it will delete the directory structure here. Right. So don't delete this one. Why? Because this is the one of the dangerous command. This is one of the dangerous command. It will delete everything here. It will delete the everything here. Right. So this way we have to use it here. Right. So the next one. Suppose if you want to check the date, how many users are connected users. So suppose if you want to check the, so what is the file system here, what is the OS version, etc space slash etc space OS hyphen release, then it will display the what is the version of the your Linux version will be displayed here. Your Linux version will be displayed here. Suppose if you want to go to the any folder, then cd command ls hyphen ltr, it will display the what are the list of files and folders will be displayed. This will be displayed here. All the information will be displayed here. Right. So this way we can check it out here. Right. So just doing some cleanups here. Suppose we want to create the, then mkdir. Suppose I want to create the some directory, then mkdir, then so Ravi, then Ravi folder is created, ls-ltr, then Ravi folder is created. Right. Suppose you want to go inside of this folder, then cd command Ravi, then you go to the inside of the file systems here. There is a Ravi command, Ravi folder. You went to the slash temp, under the temp there is a Ravi folder. Under the folder you can see there is nothing is there. You want to create the file, then touch space. Suppose you want to create the file, suppose like so test file, some of the test file you want to create. So test file you want to create, then you created some test file here. Right. So test you created, but there is no data here. Right. We want to delete, then rm minus rf recursive force as the folder or file will be deleted. So you want to rename, then mv means move this file to the text to text1, then ls-ltr text1, it is moved here. So I want to copy this file to the different copy is different. So copy is same content will be copied, but another original will be the same, it will stay same. So there are the two files here. So like this. So sometimes in the real, normally Linux person will do this kind of things here, but in the real time sometimes you may have to so work on the some files creations, folder structure creation at operating system level. So HANA operating system level, that time you need to know how to, what is the command to create the folder, what is the command to create the file, what is the command to rename the file, what is the command to move the file, so what is the command to delete the script. So this kind of, what is the command to create the directory. So this command should be very useful here. Right. So basic commands. Suppose I want to insert some data. This is one of the different command here, vi editor. So which means I want to edit some text in this file here. Go to the vi editor, then file name, then here you can enter the text. Right. Vi space file name, then click on the I for insert button will come here. Then you can enter the text here, whatever the text you want to enter the file name. So you can enter it here. That notepad you can enter it here. Right. That notepad you can enter it here, that is text. So you want to save it, just escape colon wq exclamatory, escape colon wq exclamatory, go to the vi editor, then edit the all the whatever the text you want to delete or add it, then so just colon wq slash, click on the enter button, the file will be saved here. See here, there are the some content here, 94 bytes here, 0. So something you edited here. So you want to see content of the in that file, then you can use the cat command to view the files in the contents. So then more command also will tell you the insert more command. So then cat or more command to view the contents in the files, you can see using the cat space file name or more space file name. Sir, I want to only last 5 lines only I want to read it. Then last means tail. So hyphen 5, then the command, then only last 5 lines you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines only we can see it here. I want to top 10 file, top 10 lines in a file. I want only top 5 lines. Now I want top 10, bottom 10 lines. Bottom tail means last. So total 10 lines here. I want to see last 10 lines in the file. Then you see this one here, right? Suppose I want to tail means top 10 lines. Then header, right? Header. So then 10 lines, then you can see it here. Then you see the head top 10 lines only here. The bottom 10 lines you need to use the tail. So top 10 lines you need to use the this one. That is the so commands here, right? CD, LSF and LTR, MKDIR, make directory, touch, file creation, V editor, some content you need to edit or create, right? Tail, cat command, more commands, right? They are the commands we are discussing, right? MV command, remove commands, right? And free-g, date command. So top command, top command will tell you what are the so top process which is live process which is running. It will give you the live utilizations here. What is the user currently which is using the high CPU utilization, high memory utilizations. Then this process is coming to the very high utilizations. Like that, it will provide the high number of utilizations and everything here, that is providing here, right? So that is the main case here, right? Like this. So it is connecting here, right? This is connected here. So control C, it will cancel here. Control C means cancel of that session here, right? So clear means the screen will be cleared here, right? So this way there are the some commands like so now you are in the stem Ravi. Now you want to go back, CD space / dot, then you will go back to the one step here, right? You want to come back again, then CD Ravi, then you enter into the Ravi folder here. ls-ltr, what are the files and folders are there, it will be show. So you want to change the ownership. Now its owner is like a so root and group is like a root here. I want to change this ownership here. Then chmod hyphen, so chmod. So suppose like you want to change it to the HDB ADM user or Ravi user. You want to change it to the Ravi user. SAP sys here. The file name you want to change the ownership here. Here you can change the ownership here. There is no so chmod chon command. Chon is like a so changing the ownership of the file or folder here. Ownership of the for owner and everything. So this file is not exist. Ravi user is not exist. Then HDB ADM user. Then this is exist. Now you can see this is changed to the this ownership is changed to the HDB ADM. SAP sys earlier root and root. Now it's changed to the HDB ADM. So chon command, chon command will help you to do the changes of the ownership, file ownership here. If you want to give the full permission to this one, then chmod, they are the permissions, 777.665 permissions and full file name here. This will give you the full permission, which means anyone can access the this file here. So here, so here how can I know which one is the folder and file means? So here you can see read, write, read and read. Here suppose if you can see everything is read and write execute. Anyone can delete this file, anyone can edit this file, anyone can do. Why? Because you given the 777 permission here. Suppose if any folder or anything in front of, if you have the D, suppose like if you in front of the any file or folder, if it is the D means directory, nothing is displaying me, these are the files, like that we need to remember. Okay, if you go to the ls and ldr, so see here, suppose if I take the mkdir Ravi, so directory always the first place. Why? Because everything is common, but thing is here, how can I know this is a directory or file name? So right, in place of in front of this file there is a D is mentioned, and then this is the directory. In front of that one there is a D is mentioned, then that is the directory here. So then there is a without anything is mentioned, that is called the read, write, read, execute, that is mentioned, that is called the, so that is called the without, that is called the file, there is no D, then this is not the directory, this is a file, like this. Okay, so like this, they are the some basic Linux commands, some basic Linux commands which will be helpful here, right? I will share the some documentation so that today you can practice the some Linux commands, right? So make directory, so log into the Linux operating system, I will tell you. So you will get the access for today. After some time you will get the access, right? So once you got the access, so then you need to use the PuTTY, open the PuTTY here. Here you need to enter the host name KPS4 HANA, right? Just click on the OK button. This will ask the login as, then enter the root is the super user in the Linux level. Then you can enter the password here. Just when you are typing the password will not be visible here, it's in the, so grayed out, so it will not be typed here. Just you need to enter the password, click on the enter button, you will get the prompt like this here. From here you can enter the commands to operate it. Why? Because this is the Linux operating system. Through commands only we have to do the, we have to operate it here. Through commands only we have to operate it here, this Linux. So that is the main important thing here. Okay, so okay, that is the fine. And yeah, Linux commands you need to practice before we go for the installation. And HANA installation we can do using the HDB LCM tools. HANA installation we can do using the HDB LCM tools. So this HANA database lifecycle management tools, this will come as part of the installation kit. Installation kit itself you will get the HANA HDB LCM tools. So using the HANA installation can be done in the three ways: HDB LCM, HDB LCM GUI, then HDB LCM web. So this is the command prompt mode, this is a GUI level mode, this is a web browser mode. Anyway you can use to perform the HANA installation. Next one is the HANA DB installation, that we have to do that one here. HDB LCM tools we have to use it to perform the installation. Okay, that is the one thing. So Linux commands, how to Linux, why? Because Linux HANA can be installed only in the Linux. Now we know how to log into the Linux operating system also, we know, right? That we know, we discussed about the some commands also, we will practice it, that is fine, perfectly fine. The next one is like a, the next one, HANA Linux commands is fine. The next one, yeah, so there are the some difference between some small topics, are there small things to discuss. The difference between the HANA 1.0 and HANA 2.0, right? HANA 1.0 is the multi-container, so that we discussed it, right? HANA 1.0, so in a host, in one operating system, if you install the HANA 1.0, there is a standalone HANA database will be installed. This is the HANA standalone HANA database. There is no system DB, tenant DB concept. If you install the HANA same operating system, if you install the HANA 2.0, by default you will get the HANA, so HANA one system DB, on top of you can install the one tenant DB, you will get it out. On top of multiple tenants you can create it based upon the usage. You can create the multiple tenants, you can create multiple tenant databases, you can create it here. But by default one system DB, one tenant DB you will get. But here you don't have any system DB, tenant DB concept here, right? That is one of the difference between the HANA 1.0 is a standalone database, means single container. HANA 2.0 is the multi-container. 2 means multi, right? It's a multi-container, which means multiple tenant databases we can install, we can add by using the commands on top of the system database, right? Which means by default you will get the one system DB, one tenant database, you will get it out here, right? And also here one more difference is the, in the HANA 1.0 there is a persistency layer and a metadata not separated. Persistency layer and a metadata not separated. Persistency layer and a metadata not separated. But here the metadata got separated and the persistency layer got also separated in the HANA 2.0. So this is the two main things here. Metadata persistency layer got included here with the HANA DB. Here, those are the separated in the 2.0 here. HANA 1.0 is the single container. There is no standalone database. HANA 2.0 is the multi-container, one system DB, multiple. One more best example, HANA 1.0 is like kind of a, so one HANA 1.0 is kind of a, what is that? A single independent house. Why? Because in 150 square yards, suppose example, if you install the one independent house, only one family can stay here, right? Only one database means one database related family only, we can say one database only, we can run it here. That is the one thing here. But in the same, if you in the same 150 square yards, if you build the apartment, here one family, 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 based upon the permission levels, you can build the multiple tenant databases. You can build it, means multiple families they can stay here. But this multiple families, they can use the same memory, same storage, same CPUs, they will use it. But here, this one family, they can freely, they can use the same amount of memory, storage, and disk they will use it here. That is the main the differences here. So HANA 1.0 is the single container, 2.0 is the multi-container, multiple databases we can install on the one HANA host here, which means, so first system DB owners will stay, tenant databases by default one tenant you will get it out. If you want to create the more tenants, you can create the more tenants, you can create it here. One system DB, multiple tenants you can create it here. That is the main difference between the system HANA 1.0, 2.0 here. Right? So this is the differences between the HANA 1.0, 2.0. Multi-container means multiple tenants we can install on the one top of the system database is only one, tenant database only one here. Right? This is a standalone. There is no concept of the system DB, tenant DB. Here only one database you will get. Here multiple databases you will get. Right? So there are the advantages. There is a risk also. Why? Because all the tenants will use the same. If the memory is less, then all the tenants will go down. Here only one tenant will, risk is less but risk is more, but here the cost is very less. Here you need one operating system, you need to install the one database, and one more operating system, one more operating system, like that. But here in one operating systems, multiple tenants you can add it here. Multiple tenant DB concept means apartment and floors we can add it, right? In the apartment, multiple floors we can install it, right? Similarly, same as like this one as well here, right? So that is the differences here. Okay, so the next one, once that is the difference. Yeah, so and also when you install the HANA database, when we are installing the HANA database, there are the 7 core process will be created here, right? Either a single tenant DB or system DB. One is the index server, so name server, preprocessor, and compile server. This is the one of the compulsory question they may ask you, right? Another web dispatcher, access engine, then daemon. So these are the 7 core process will be created here, right? Index server, name server, preprocessor, compile server, web dispatcher, access engine, daemon. These 7 core process will be created after installing the HANA database. These are the family members. How in SAP level we have the dialog, update, and queue will come, same as like here also will come. In SAP, when you install it, you will get the 2 instances. One is the ASCS instance, second one is the application server. Here also by default you will get the one system DB, on top of you will get the one more tenant DB, you will get it out here. System DB, the tenant DB concept here, right? Sorry, HANA 1.0 or 2.0, these are the process will be live. These are the family members will live here. So that is the differences here, right? So the only thing is now you need to practice the commands before we go and start the commands. That's why small topics, or if anything I am explaining here before the installation. So now what I will do, I will create the access for you after the class so that you can log in, do the practice commands for today. Tomorrow we'll start the installation, then followed by the other administration topics and everything. The only thing is that, so commands you need to practice it. If you keep on explaining everything I'm going to further, then you will get confused without system access, right? So that's the reason. First commands. So Linux commands you can practice today. Okay, then you will have the time now, so you can just practice it. Then so I will create the access for you guys so that you can log in and do the practice. Okay, any questions, anyone? I'm pausing here for today to practice the HANA commands. So